Am I the idiot for making it clear to my stepmom that I don't want her to be present when I give birth? My stepmom saw a comment I made on a Facebook post several weeks ago that said I would probably have my mom in the delivery room with me if she were still alive. The post was from a page I follow asking expectant parents if they thought their moms being there would bring them some comfort. She messaged me on Facebook when she saw it and told me I could still have one of my moms there, her. I replied back that it wasn't her I meant. I saw her a few days after, and she brought up to me how embarrassing it was to have me openly state that on social media where people could see. She said most would assume I have two moms and that she would be worthy of being invited. I told her my reply was not said to embarrass her, but I was being honest about my feelings on the topic. She brought it up more times and tried to advocate for me saying yes. When I kept saying no, she said I was blessed with two moms and sometimes I act as though I only have one. The background to this is as follows. I lost my mom when I was 6 and dad remarried just before I turned 8. My stepmom wanted to adopt me when they got married, but I didn't want that. My dad didn't want to waste the money if I'd tell a judge I didn't want it, and said the judge sided with me. I think my stepmom tried to be a good second mom and tried to fill the space my mom used to. She didn't remove mom's memory, but she did compete with her memory a lot. I never wanted a second mom and always saw her as more of a dad's wife than a stepmom, but saying stepmom seemed like a compromise to not rock the boat too much. She has 4 sons with my dad. She's a good mom to them, though I think she always wanted a daughter, and I do believe that is part of the reason she could never let go of the whole mom thing. But anyway, the topic was not dropped by my stepmom. I changed the subject a lot when she brought it up, but over the weekend it came up again, and she said I was already honoring my mom and mother-in-law with my daughter's name, not their actual names, but associations with them. And I have never acknowledged her as being a mom to me or even a grandma to my daughter, and the least I could do is let her be there, and let her support me the way I dreamed my mom would. She told me she could be my greatest advocate, and it would go a long way for acknowledging the mother/daughter nature of our relationship. I made it very clear to her then that I did not want her there, and yes, I want my mom, but she never held that title for me. I told her that she was my stepmom, and she was not someone I would feel comfortable having there for the moment. She was upset and tried to pull my dad into it, but he refused to get involved, which no surprise there. My stepmom said if I didn't want her there then I should have at least deleted those comments, and she also said I had made it very clear I think nothing of her feelings. Am I the idiot? Edit. The messages were DMs and not public. OP gives more information in the comments. She has told me I should let her be there on 6 different occasions now, saying everything from she wants to be there and could support me to she'll never get the chance because she only has sons, and if I want my mom there then she's my mom and can be there. I have been to therapy as an adult, and I'm sad that I don't have my mom. But I'm not angry. My stepmom has never been the person I consider my mom, and she never will be. She was never my mom though. No matter how long she has been in my life or what she has done, she will always be in my head my dad's wife and publicly my stepmom. But I never looked at her and saw my mom. I have always been as polite as I could be but never wanted what she was offering me. It's why I said no to being adopted. For me, I feel like my mom would have been a great support for me. My husband will be. I have no doubt about that. But I always found it so sweet to be so close to your mom that you would have her there. Like a support from someone you love so much who knows how it feels to give birth. No, you're not the idiot OP. If you don't want her there, you don't want her there. Everyone that gave birth says that is one of the hardest times in their life, where you are vulnerable and totally exposed. So it makes sense that you would only want people you feel comfortable with, there with you. In addition to the medical staff, of course. So if you don't want her there, she shouldn't be there. And even if your mom was alive, if you didn't want her there, she would also have no right to be in the delivery room. I understand that your stepmother may feel like your mother, and you may even see her as a mother figure, but that doesn't mean she is. Also, your decision doesn't mean that you don't care about her or that you are disrespecting her. It just means that you don't want her present in this delicate moment with you. And she shouldn't make this about what she wants, but about what's best for you. Good thing your dad didn't fall for her BS and stayed out of it. He knows very well that it's not his place to get involved in this, as it's not hers. Now let's read the comments. Not the idiot. You feel the way you feel and she needs to accept that and move on. It's not your fault that she inserted herself into a situation she was not invited to and it turns out also not welcome. You have zero obligation to have anyone that isn't medical staff in the room with you while you give birth. Your comfort is second only to your health during such a stressful event, and you shouldn't feel the need to include anyone you aren't entirely comfortable having with you. Not the idiot, but I think your reply to her on Facebook was a little hurtful to her, as I think initially she genuinely felt that she was doing good by stepping up and trying to be there for you. Other than that, your feelings are justified. If you don't want her there, then that's your choice. With the whole competing with the memories with your mother, I think she is insecure and trying to prove some point, but she needs to understand that not everything is about her, and if she was more understanding of that, maybe the relationship wouldn't be so distant between you both. In the end, it's your decision, and she should just stop victimizing herself and drop the subject as it's clearly going nowhere. Edit. She stated that the Facebook conversation was through DMs, not publicly. She has made it very clear she cares so little for your feelings. Having someone in the room with you when delivering your child is a privilege, not a right. And in those moments, you are very vulnerable and want the support of those you can depend on, like your husband. She can fuss all she wants, but the facts remain that she is not your mother. Her feelings are at the bottom of the barrel, and your life is your choice. I wish you and your husband a safe delivery and healthy baby. Not the idiot at all. Your way or the highway, she only has those two options. The irony of claiming she'd be a great advocate, and yet can't take the first, or second or third, no from OP. Not the idiot, and once and for all, childbirth is not a spectator sport. I'm sorry your stepmother is offended, and I might have messaged her privately rather than respond on a public Facebook post. But she is ridiculous trying to demand a level of closeness that simply doesn't exist. And what do you guys think about this? Have you ever heard of a similar situation? Leave your comments down below. Oh, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. Now let's go to the next story. Am I the idiot for giving my daughter's gifts to her? My ex and I have 50-50 custody of our daughter, 15. We rotate holidays and this Christmas was her turn. My family and I had planned a second Christmas for when my daughter comes back to give her gifts and make sure she is not feeling left out. I make significantly more than my ex. My ex also has 2 other kids, female, 12, female, 9. On Christmas Day, my daughter called me and asked if she could video chat with me during the day. I asked her why she is not spending the day with her mom and siblings, and she said she doesn't want to go out and watch them opening their cool Christmas gifts, when she didn't get much. Apparently the 12-years-old got a laptop and a pet. The 9-years-old got a new phone and Nintendo Switch from their mom, while she gave my daughter a bag. I called her mom and asked her about the gifts, and she said this is her way of making things fair because my daughter gets so many gifts from me and my side of the family, when she can hardly afford to buy anything for her other kids. I told her it was still unfair for my child to watch her siblings open their cool presents when she only got a bag, and she told me our daughter is 15 and can handle this, and ended the call. I have 3 siblings who are all very generous with gifts and love spoiling the kids for Christmas, so I knew she must get a lot of good presents from them. I told them there is a change of plans and I want to send the Christmas gifts to my daughter today. There is no way I'm going to let my daughter just sit there and watch her siblings open their gifts when she looks miserable. I took all the gifts to my daughter's mom's home and gave them to her. My ex blew up at me and asked me what the hell is wrong with me bringing so many gifts and giving it to her in front of her siblings. I told her I don't think I did anything wrong. I was trying to make my daughter happy. She called me an a-hole and told me to come and take the gifts back, which I refused to and said I'll take them back when I take my daughter back. Opie isn't the idiot for gifted his daughter, but he kind of is, for taking a bunch of gifts to his ex-wife's house to give his daughter and rubbing it in her face and consequently in her other children's faces. There was no need for this. I understand that it's horrible to see your child sad and your first instinct is to want to help, but I found Opie's attitude to be more petty and childish than anything else. The ex-wife is also not right for how she is dealing with this financial inequality between her children. I get that she doesn't want the younger ones to feel bad about all the gifts you and your family can give your daughter, and she can't give them. But this is no excuse to make her daughter feel like she is less important than her sisters to her. And daughter is no longer a kid. I believe that if her mother explained the situation, she would understand, and would not be so upset about not getting that many gifts from her. Well, at least that's what I hope. Oh, and what kind of bag did she get? Some bags are more expensive than electronics. Well, I really don't think Opie needed to go to his ex's house at that moment. His daughter was going to receive the gifts anyway. Opie also replies to comments, which made me kinda worry about the lack of empathy he shows for his daughter's sisters. And it makes me wonder if he teaches this type of behavior to daughter. Her kids aren't my responsibility. I didn't send any gifts at first and wanted to give everything after she came home because of those kids. But then my ex decided to do that. Why would I care about the impact on her kids when she wasn't thinking about the impact on mine? I gave her all the gifts because I wanted to make her happy and because I wanted to let my ex know this is what will happen if she decides to do such a thing again, to prevent this from happening next time. And what do you guys think of this situation? Would you do the same as Opie? Or do you agree with his ex-wife? What about his kid? Do you think he's spoiling her too much? Leave your comments down below. Now let's read the comments. Not the idiot. If she wanted to give more to the other kids to try and even it out, she should have just let your daughter spend the holiday with you. You did the same thing to the other kids that their mom did to your daughter. Be a bit careful that none of the gifts go missing though. Or let's pretend either of these adults are in fact adults they could have communicated, before this shitshow, with their 15-year-old daughter. Hey honey, you are only getting a few gifts at mom's house, but you will be with mom so have fun, and you will get more cool gifts on another day. If Opie's daughter is smart she will ride this gift-giving train as far as it can go. Maybe next year she can get dad to show up with a brand new car to make mom look bad. Let the true meaning of Christmas ring. What a great lesson to teach kids. Not the idiot. Being able to give the other kids a laptop, pet, and Switch doesn't sound like she didn't have enough money to make a nice Christmas for everyone. I wouldn't have made a scene by dropping off the gifts. Your daughter sees what is happening, and she won't forget how her mom made her feel that day. Trust her to see through her mom's excuses. Everyone sucks here. Your wife should treat her children equally regardless of what your daughter gets from you, and going to her house like you did to make a point. This wasn't just about making your daughter happy. Let's face it, was incredibly petty. Everyone sucks here, meaning both you and the mom. Her for the obvious reasons, yours for bringing all the presents. You could have just brought your own, enough to balance the scale between the siblings, and give the rest at the next gathering. Now you've put your daughter in an embarrassing position. Her siblings are envious, and her mom was in a pissy mood on Christmas Day. Yes, you've shown her how much you love her, but hurt her family relations at the same time. Everyone sucks here. Every adult in this story acted so ridiculously immature. What kind of effed up parenting competition is this? Oh right, it's about the gifts. Everyone needs more gifts because that's obviously the true meaning of loving parents in this story. Whichever parent gives the most gifts is the hero. Such a great lesson and a truly warm and loving holiday memory for all the kids. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you next time.